Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your full moon reading for October 27th, which is the full Hunter's Moon in Taurus. I apologize for the glare, and I'm actually going to have to use a pointer to show things, but anyway, here we go. This is the full moon in Taurus, which, if you've been sort of following some of the other readings, I think you'll know is about that earthy fullness of sensual pleasure and enjoyment. Some of the other difficult aspects have cleared out a little bit, and so right now this is a time to revel in things that you enjoy. And I sort of want to explain. I stacked the deck a little this week. This card was one I pulled earlier today, and it really spoke to me for the day and for the moon, and then these others kind of corresponded with it. So let me kind of jump in. A lot of times we deal with the Queen of Pentacles as being a Taurian figure. She's mistress of her domain and of the earth. This woman, too, is mistress of her domain and of the earth, the Pentacles. She is also right at the point of harvest with these heavy grapes. She is very self-sufficient. She can grow things, but she can also hunt things, as signified by the falcon. She's somewhat tied in with the moon as well, because many of the moon goddesses are the mistresses of the hunt or the mistresses of animals, like Diana and Artemis are. The other thing I'll say is that what really caught my eye earlier today is this little snail. I don't think I'd ever paid attention to the snail the way I paid attention to it today. And I'm going to put a link to the site What's Your Sign, where I got a lot more information about snails, and it was really fascinating, and it also tied in to the moon right now. So anyway, here we go. This is what I learned about snails that was important to me. First of all, the snail does tie in with lunar gods and goddesses. There are storm gods who live in snail shells, so you can imagine a dragon coming out of a giant snail shell. But the snail, of course, we think of it as carrying its house on its back, which signifies, again, self-sufficiency and resourcefulness. But also, I learned that snails make two kinds of slime. One kind of slime is to help it move, and the other kind of slime helps heal its wounds and protect it. I also learned that the snail makes its own shell, and so of course we've got this spiral imagery, which is so important in mythology. From the smallest snail up to the arms of the galaxy, we have spirals, and it makes them all connected together in the grand dance. Also, I learned that snails can show male or female reproductive characteristics depending on circumstances and what's needed. So that's the ultimate sort of balance between yin and yang, which also is reflected in this woman's sort of ability to go back and forth between different modes of providing. This falcon is blinded. Not permanently blinded, but is wearing blinders. And that means that you're hypercritical, look at everything from 10,000 feet up, be hugely judgmental, be hugely mental, be very critical. That facility is not called for right now. And I think that's true of this full moon in Taurus as well. Try to stifle some of the internal criticism. And when we talk about pleasure and enjoying yourself, pleasure and joy become subject in human society at times to a great deal of guilt. And guilt and anxiety and shame, those are all up in the upper chakras. And this is a time to give yourself a release from that. I started thinking about the idea, why should joy be shameful at all? And it led me to looking up on YouTube laughing baby videos. So I found that one laughing baby compilation video had 23 million views. These are just babies laughing. And you don't look at them and go, those selfish jerks, how dare they enjoy themselves? Instead, it draws millions and millions of people who gain joy just by seeing their joy. And that also made me think of the laughing Buddha, who wanders through the world with his little bag of his little cloth bag of belongings, very humble, and just is a laughing, smiling character adored by children, and he gives them candy like Halloween. And it is this wisdom and contentment that actually makes him a spiritual figure. And while he is happy with his humble estate, people will rub the belly of the laughing Buddha for good luck or prosperity. He's not jealous. He's not greedy. His joy becomes an everlasting wellspring. Just like the laughing babies, it comes from a pure, happy place, and that makes the world better. Your first job is to be you, and your beingness and your being happy is the best thing you can do to make the world better. If you say, oh, it's okay if the world's happy and I'll just be unhappy, you've missed the part that you are most able to control, which is you. The person you have the greatest ability to provide lessons and mastery and encouragement to is yourself. And so if you make you happy, then you become like this Ace of Cups. I sort of wanted to point this out because the idea of selfishness is often tied to ideas of scarcity. And of course, where we talk about the Five of Pentacles, we can be talking about a situation of scarcity where people are afraid there won't be enough to go around. But the Ace of Cups says if you tap into your wellspring of joy, it doesn't matter what size the cup is, it overflows. It overflows to the five senses. There will always be enough, and more and more and more and more. And this is another one that says joy can overflow. She's pouring from these containers, and some's going into the water, and some's going on the land, and some in the land goes in the water and circulates back again. And this card is thought of as one of the most healing, one of the most hopeful, one of the most positive cards that you can get. And again, we have this sense of abundance, of overwhelming joy. And I feel that this full moon in Taurus says, connect with your body, connect with your senses, and anything that gives you pleasure and happiness there, and let that open-hearted enjoyment bubble up in you and make the world a better place, like the laughing Buddha's laughter makes the world a better place. You know, we talk a lot about toxic people, and toxic people can hurt you, and toxic people can affect you, and sure they can. But I think the best defense is a good offense, and a happy, robust, healthy heart actually has a chance to overwhelm any, single drop of poison. Anything like that is going to get diluted in this overwhelming divine stream. So we think of this as coming from on high, but this could be your hand as you tap into that source of joy, as you experience that full and deep appreciation of everything around you. Because when we enjoy things, so often we want to share it, right? You have a great cup of coffee and you think, this is great. I have to bring my friend. This is great. I have to tell my sister or buy her a bag of coffee. I have to do that. Joy, when there's enough of it, it just quite naturally overflows to other people. And that's what your joy can do too. So let it flow. Don't be afraid of your pleasure. Don't be caught up in guilt and shame. And don't be judgmental about what you love or what gives you happiness, or laughing too loud or looking foolish. The little humble snail and the laughing Buddha, they don't care. And they are working their path. And it is a holy and beautiful one. So anyway, that's what I was thinking for this full moon. So I'm sharing it with you, and I hope you find it useful as well. But for the random draws, I pulled two oracles. I pulled one from the Oracles of Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish and artist Jasmine Becket-Griffith, because it's got a little bit of a Halloweeny vibe. And then I also pulled one from Alana Fairchild's Sacred Rebels Oracle. and I have no idea what these are going to be. So I'm putting them up here because I didn't see them first. So, and I apologize again for the glare. So let's go. Okay, we'll go with the Oracle of Shadows and Light first. Hope I don't knock all this down. We'll see. Okay, Storm Angel. Okay, the Storm Angel is the collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies. This is number 35, and that adds up to 8, which is manifestation. She also is actually the cover. She's the cover angel for this set. So you know she's important because she's the one on the box and she's the one on the book. So let me read you a little more about the Storm Angel. Here we go. This beautiful fairy is dressed in storms. Energy around her crackles and sizzles, but she is calm and unharmed. Now it is your time to turn and learn to deal with the energy that is around you without compromising your own. She appears when energies with major differences collide, when intentions are different, when techniques are worlds apart, and when incompatible belief systems meet up. And to me, this ties a little bit with that idea that when you are a person of a certain kind of spiritual bent, you may spend a lot of time worrying about other people's toxic energy, instead of spending a lot of time nourishing the loving pillar, which is you. And when you do that, you find that you can encounter opposition and remain calm. You can remain, like you can't see her anymore, but the Nine of Pentacles, you can remain calm even in the face of bad weather, of storms, of opposition. And a lot of us have been through the Tower cards recently, and we're still dealing with aftermath. Your ability to get through all that calmly and to remain self-possessed is part of what the Storm Angel offers. So don't look at these things fearfully or spend too much time in that mental realm that we talked about right now. The Falcon has its blinders on, so don't spend too much time future tripping or hypothesizing the worst things that could possibly happen. Spend time in the now, enjoying the moment which is now, and being like cooled out in your now. And that should help a lot with the, you know, little storms and eddies that swim by. So here is Sacred Rebels Oracle. Oh, and I'm going to flip. I'm probably going to have to read on this one too. 42, the word wants to be written. I got to tell you, I get this one a lot. These are both relatively new decks to me, but some cards just come up again and again. Let me see if I can shut the glare on this. I'm holding my hand in front so you can really see. It's a beautiful card. There she is with her eyes closed, and she's got all these gorgeous butterflies coming out. And 42, which, as we all know from the Hitchhiker's Guide, is in fact the answer to the riddle of the universe. Anyway, let me read you about this one. Okay, you might have been taught that creativity is something you have to work hard to access, or that finding your life purpose is so difficult that you must search high and low for it. Yet what you are is within you and wants to come out at every available opportunity. You don't have to struggle so much. It's more about allowing space for it to manifest and letting the energy flow. The real struggle is not in finding something. It is more about letting go of the idea you need to search for your path in the first place. The process of activating your life path is a natural one. The effort is in getting out of the way, not in making something happen. So this really relates to that same idea we were talking about, and I'll get over the glare again, that you don't have to search high and low. You don't have to do something that seems glamorous or amazing or that fits someone else's idea of what a life path is or what spiritual greatness is or anything like that. You have to be you. You be the snail in the garden. You be the laughing Buddha, and watch the universe sparkle around you. So that's all the time I have. I will talk to you again for the new moon. God bless, and rock on with your bad selves.